Have you ever swiped your ATM or credit card and wondered what happens to your information? And have you ever been required to fill out some forms that ask for the most personal information and wondered how safe will it be? Well, nothing or anyone is ever safe, but there are things you can do to ensure your safety or protect important data. And that's what we're looking at today. The technology behind using technology safely. Data security is simply the practice of keeping data, information protected from corruption and unauthorized access to ensure privacy. The payment card industry, which includes businesses that facilitate the use of debit or credit card transactions, is one of the more vulnerable sectors. And with identity theft and credit card scams now on the increase, their job is getting increasingly difficult. But failure to put the most stringent measures in place could have serious consequences.
So let's say you're a business or an entity and you're non-compliant and there's a breach in your environment. The card brands and the acquirers will send in their forensics people, and essentially they're going to start to look to see if you were actually compliant with the PCI DSS standard, and they're going to also see if you actually practice what is known as due diligence, if you will. So, and if they find out that you weren't essentially compliant with the PCI data security standard, or if they find out that you were sort of compliant, but you missed a lot of things, then the fines and the penalties and the costs associated with that are essentially going to be more severe with respect to those folks who have done less due diligence or actually essentially not done what they were supposed to do. If you're found to be non-compliant and there's a breach, the first thing that can happen is they can fine you up to $500,000 immediately. And there's also a breakout with respect to how you're classified as a merchant or a service provider.
Then, of course, there's the negative publicity that is likely to follow, which could mean less customers. Those customers must now contend with the dangers of their confidential information getting into the wrong hands, resulting in, for example, a huge credit card bill for shoes, clothes, furniture, and items of jewelry they never ordered. Now, as technology evolves to simplify everyday activities, so has the technology to ensure the safety of our information and identity. Three main solutions are what are called encryption, user authentication, and backup solution.
Well, encryption is just a simple method of rendering your data unreadable. So as long as the average person cannot understand your data, then we consider it encrypted. So your computer then would have to decode that data and render it readable in order for you to understand it.
Now, user authentication refers to usernames and passwords. IT experts strongly recommend that you do not share your password and that you change passwords on a regular basis. They should not be too short or easily guessed. So, no using your date of birth. That one's just too easy.
Another way of protecting your data could be by you backing up your data by data storage. We always recommend that the use of memory drives. You do not store sensitive data on your memory drives, thumb drives. So if you could, CDs or DVDs are a good pick. Otherwise, from that, you always make sure you choose a medium that you can lock away, whether physically but out of everyday use.
So technology itself, not bad. After all, it is technology and a whole heaping of common sense and caution that's going to protect us from the dangers of using the convenience of technological innovations like your ATM card.